Okay, well, I did a little bit of velocity testing this evening, and a funny thing was going on. So, I mean, it doesn't look like it, but so this is what I was getting in the beginning. We'll just go through this real quick. You can see, I think there's 10 shots on here, but there's shot, whatever, 10. Yeah, here comes 9, 8, 7. And we'll just go through them. You can read the numbers. So high 405, low 383, average 394, 22 for a spread, and deviation of 7, which ain't bad. You know, I thought, well, okay. But, and I deleted the shots because I thought something went wrong with my chronograph. But I was getting sometimes 191 and stuff, and I'm thinking, what? But I did notice that every now and again, I would get this shot that would just sound like I threw the pellet by hand or something. So I didn't know what was going on, but I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going. So I kept shooting, and I'm just playing around. And then it hit me what it was. I had adjusted the over travel stop for the trigger just so the hammer would break and fall away. Well, evidently it was dragging on occasions. It actually was dragging more than that. Now watch this. So I'm going to go to string 4. There's only 4 shots, but look at that number. Okay? Okay, so, and you know, and I get it, like the 3rd string on here is a mix of everything, but I was like, wow, you know. So anyway, so we have a low of 470 average, you know, and that's just 4 shots, okay, but what my point is, 470 roughly, okay. I have a gun that's only supposed to do 420 if you look at the specs. So anyway, yeah, I just got the trigger stop out of the way, and so the 2-stage trigger is really going to fix that. So because it just drops away, and the hammer just, there is nothing to rub on that 2-stage setup. So okay, I did a little bit of accuracy testing too, and what I did is I had this little leaper scope, you know, on my 2240, and I thought, well, I'll just pop that off, put that on there, and I'll clamp it in the vise with felt pads, and it's about 17 feet to my pellet trap, and so I thought, okay, you know, that'll be close enough. And the only problem is this is, I think, set the parallax is 100 yards. So if you know what that means, the crosshairs move around with your eye, and it's not an adjustable objective, so I can't get it so where it doesn't move at 17 feet. So anyway, I just had to kind of judge, you know, as best I could. But anyway, that's 10 shots. This one's actually kind of all by itself, so but there's 10 shots in there, and a lot of them are just going through the same hole, you know, so that's plenty, I think, good enough for me, what I'm doing. I had I shoot at these at 20 feet, and while I was doing some velocity measurements and stuff, I had just basically chewed the center right out of this thing, of one of these. So, whoops, so these things are not too bad for accuracy. I was like way more impressed than I thought I would be. So anyway, there you are. Thanks. Okay, I just had a few closing thoughts or comments on this that I want to go over. One of them was, the thing I like, or one of them was, this tube's printed on. It's not roll stamped any longer. So I guess if you're going to do like a mini, you know, mini HPA or something, you could do that. So I thought that was slick. It definitely needs a trigger, you know. It's just the standard, as you saw, the standard trigger, and with the little adjustment in there and a little different trigger spring, but everything else is the same. So, you know, I'm going to spend the $57 and put that in there, and then I'll have a $200 gun. Okay. It's a bit noisier now because I went from the 400 foot per second up to the 475. So I'm either going to, do a power adjuster homemade trick on this, or something, to quiet her down a little bit. This is the one that I spoke of earlier, where I just fired a bunch of shots, checking velocity, not even paying a whole lot of attention, and just chewed the center right out of that. I used this, or I bought it mainly for practicing offhand shooting at 30 yards. I shoot black powder pistol, and this is a scaled down target. Okay, so I can practice here in the basement at 20 feet, and that's what it looks like to me if it was the big one at 30 yards. So all in all, for $143, I bought this at Walmart. I ordered it online. They sent it for $143. I'm extremely happy. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps somebody. Okay, thanks.